Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Yeah, I just thought before I move on to any other subjects, and since we're discussing the Ruqya reactions and what is deemed to be acceptable, I think it's definitely worth discussing some of my experiences with the Rakis that I dealt with in the early days, both for myself and my family, and what I saw with other patients as well. Now, the issue that I discussed previously was Rakis that would recite upon me, and they would recognize that my Ruqya reactions clearly indicated I was suffering from a spiritual disease. However, what I've not really talked about is the really incompetent Rakis who would see these reactions and they did not know how to interpret them, and they would rather misdiagnose me than tell me, there's something wrong, and just be honest to me, and just be honest and say, there's something wrong, but we don't know what it is. I had one case where a Raki came to my house, and I remember he charged me like 150 quid, and he must have performed Ruqya on me for like less than 10 minutes. It was probably about 5 minutes. Both me and my missus, we reacted to the Ruqya. It was not major reactions, but I would deem them as a clear deviation from the reference point. My wife was getting all dizzy. I was feeling quite funny as well. And the Raki just said, it's just mental health issues. And he walked off. And this Raki, I'm not shy to expose him. His name's Abu Talib from Leeds. And he's been exposed on YouTube thereafter. And that's probably the curse of Allah that's upon him for exploiting people the way he was. I mean, he came in this big, like a doctor suitcase. And when he opened it up, he just had bottles of Zamzam water in it and some leaflets. It was all like a charade, something you'd expect from a charlatan, I guess. That was our experience with him. Then there was another Raki. I don't want to mention his name. He's quite well known actually in the UK. And a family member went to his house. And when he performed Ruqya on this family member, she got a dead arm from the actual recitation of the Ruqya. Now that would be deemed as a clear reaction. It means there is some kind of spiritual affliction there. Why else has the arm gone dead? Why, Ruqya recitation should not do anything to us physically if there's nothing wrong with us. And I get this a lot. And he just says to her, because a lot of these Rakis are incompetent, and it's almost like the only way they can deal with anything is when a jinn speaks, and it gives them all this misinformation, and then that way it makes them look good, and then they could pass this information on to the patient. Oh, look, the jinn just said it's sihr, so it must be sihr. And that's it. But if the jinn does not speak, the Raki is just rendered useless. I had another case with a Raki where he would wait for hours for like some minor reaction to occur, or he'd wait days even sometimes, for the jinn to speak. Some Rakis would start beating the patient up. They might see a slight twitch of the foot, and they will start beating him up. And then I've heard many patients admit to me that when this was a case with them, they would just fake it. They would pretend to be the jinn and say, yes, we are the jinn. And then simply just to avoid the beating. It's ludicrous. If I wasn't going to... Listen, I don't know whether to laugh or cry about this, The method of Ruqya diagnosis that we employ, there is no need to be touching anyone. I saw one Raki. I heard of a Raki, shall I say. He brought like a microphone into the Ruqya session. Oh no, this hurts the jinn more. It's not necessary. Literally, like, you can recite Ruqya quietly. You can whisper it. And as long as the patient can hear it just a little bit, it's sufficient. You do not need to be bringing microphones in to make the jinn react. You're asking Allah to make the person react. You don't need microphones and weapons and beatings. I had another case that I witnessed. A Iraqi came all the way from Luton to my house, and he's performing Ruqya on someone, and this individual, her body was very visibly reacting. She was getting strong muscle spasms, and again this Iraqi didn't know what to say, so his response was, it's probably some kind of remnants. She's got some kind of remnants of sihr. I'm thinking, how did you even come to that conclusion? You know, she's having these big reactions, and he's just made a random guess it's a remnant. Now, he didn't want to say it's actually sihr because he would have had to deal with it. It was like a get out of jail card. Just, it's a remnant, and then let's just walk out of the house, so I don't have to deal with this anymore. And this is problematic. If you're reacting to Ruqya, if Ruqya is making your body have strong, violent muscle spasms, or even any strong deviation, or any deviation, shall I say, significant deviation from the reference point, then it is classed as a reaction. And that's something you need to remember. On the flip side, if it's not clear, or you're saying, I'm not too sure, I've just got a bit of pins and needles, it's not enough. It's not enough to be classed as a Ruqya reaction. And if you still think there's something wrong with you, but you want to try one more time or a few more times and make lots of tawbah, because it could be your sins that are getting in the way of your diagnosis. That's enough for today, guys. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.